Hey, this is a message for future Bruce. Hopefully, you've published a lot more than one fiction book, but I want to take you back to March 18, 2019, where you published your first book. This right here is a sample copy of your book, Lost Portals, first in the LitRPG Omniverse, part of the Czarzakian Multiverse online. And here it is. Look at that. Look how thick that book is. Look at the cover is amazing. Everything. It just looks very professional. It's already ranking on Amazon. Don't know if you remembered this, but the marketing. Let's get this thing. The marketing on there that you learned from YouTube was very effective. You did a pre-order. You did a lot of passive advertisement. You have a website, you have a Facebook page, you have a Twitter page. You're interacting with different communities in this genre. All great things, and that may be contributing to your sale. And probably the biggest thing you did was you put your book in the most popular browse categories on Amazon. Very effective technique that some authors don't know about, but good on you, Bruce. So I've got about 13 sales right now. Right now what I'm doing is I'm going through my book. I'm pretty nervous. I've published other books before. I've got these books right here that my wife and I published. One's for having a K-1 visa to the United States. It's just like an instructional manual. And then we have one where we talk about how we've been able to have a successful relationship. It's very short and sweet, and mainly we made it for our Audible book that we read ourselves. So there's that, and there's a few other books as well. Those are nonfiction. Nonfiction is extremely easy for me. Very easy because I kind of been doing it for a long time. Not published on Amazon or anything, but I'm a technical writer for government agencies. So I know how to write that kind of stuff. This is different. Fiction is a completely different animal, and this is something I've always wanted to do, and it's something I put on a pedestal because I'm an avid reader. I love science fiction, I love fantasy, and some fiction too. Some horror if it's done well. I like the craft of writing. Okay, I was just my kid asking me about her art, which is actually doing pretty good, digital art. Anyway, so here it is. This is the book. Amazing feeling right now that I'm having. I'm excited. I'm scared. I want people to like it. You know, I want them to have a experience with this book, the same experience that I had going through this universe. That's what I really hope to accomplish here. And I don't know. It's my first book, so who knows? You know, it doesn't. You never know how people are going to receive it. One thing I have noticed, though, and I'm ashamed to say this, there's so many mistakes in this copy. And I've got 5 days to release this book, the final draft of the book, for order on Amazon. And so what I'm doing is combing through it and finding every mistake. I'm reading through it line by line. And so far, look at that. For me, I don't know how other writers feel, but for me, having mistakes in my book, like these blatant mistakes, just ridiculously blatant. Some of them are kind of just like superficial, but some of them are blatantly dumb mistakes. That it's like a fart inside of an elevator for me personally. It's very embarrassing. And that being said, once I go through the whole thing again, I'm sure there'll be still a few other mistakes. I don't mind, some mistakes here and there, but I'm really I don't want to distract from the story, and that's what mistakes like that do. They would distract you. They take you away from the actual story, and I want that as little as possible. What I want to capture here in this video is what I'm going through right now, because this is something else. Because this means so much to me, I know if this doesn't do well, I'm going to be hurt. I'm not going to quit, but it's gonna hurt my feelings. If this book doesn't do well, it's gonna hurt my feelings. But I've already resolved. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna quit if it gets destroyed and people say it sucks and the characters are weak and the story is boring and there's too many mistakes in it. You should have got an editor. Blah blah blah. I'm just gonna get better. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make my next book better than this book. That's what I'm gonna do. I aim to get better at the craft of writing. This is something that I really love to do. I love to do it. This whole experience, writing it from start to finish, has been fun. It's been fun to journey to this place, and all these other ideas and all these other vistas and all this other stuff starts popping in my head of what I want to do. It's just been really fun. It's been fun to interact with some other writers, like-minded people. It's been a great journey so far, and I want to enjoy it. Somebody on Twitter told me some great advice. They said, I was asking other authors, I said, you know how I'm so scared and I'm excited, but I'm also scared, and what do I do if people hate it? Like, what do you guys do about bad comments and stuff? And what should I do, you know? And they said, somebody said, just don't read the comments, you know? Just don't read the comments. Which I'm hearing more and more people say that, because you don't want to, and I understand why you would say that, because you don't want to take away from your art or your craft. You want to just write good stories, but you know, at the same time, you don't want to water your stuff down so much by worrying about what everybody else thinks that your art should be. I mean, granted, if there's mistakes in it and people are saying, hey, you know, you should fix all of these grammar mistakes or whatever, yeah, that's valid. But if it's like, if they're judging the actual story, some of that could water your art down, you know? So I do understand not reading the comments. I think I will read some comments. But somebody said something profound. They said, enjoy the journey. Because, and I understand, because it's your first time being an author. This is my first time being an author, and it's an amazing feeling. I'm excited. I'm scared. I don't know how this is going to be received. It's very, it's a huge act of hubris to think you're going to be on the same stage as people like Arthur C. Clarke. You know what I mean? You're going to be on the same stage as some of the great authors, the greatest authors in the world, with some amazing genius, people who really know how to write, people who really know how to craft stories. I am putting my work alongside theirs. And we'll see how it goes. I really want to, for me, it's almost like doing this stuff is like I'm a reporter. I'm going to these places. I'm experiencing these people's lives. The people in this book's lives. I'm journeying with them, and I'm having a good time. I am terrified when they're scared. I'm sad when they're sad. I get to experience the world through other people's eyes, and to me, that's the joy of science fiction. That's the joy of writing in general, and whether it be literature or horror or whatever, romance, whatever, you're experiencing that with these people that are in this world, in this environment. And to me, that's what this is about. That's the joy of it. It's not about, you know, how great I'm going to be as a writer, because honestly, you take somebody like Cormac McCarthy, who wrote The Road and who wrote No Country for Old Men, and one of my favorite books of all time, Blood Meridian. You read that guy's books, and it's so beautiful how he crafts words together, but it's kind of like stream of consciousness. And I can see how people wouldn't like it. Me, I think it's some of the greatest writing I've ever read. It's some of the great. It really takes me there. It's very dark. I don't like it's kind of too dark. But I can really see why people wouldn't like it, because it goes off on a tangent and describes way too much. It's kind of like John Steinbeck, where he describes a turtle for 3 pages. He's describing a turtle crossing the street. And what does he mean by that whole chapter? How did this even get published? Why is it, you know, but is it an analogy for society in the 30s and 1920s? What is it? Why would he explain? My point is that you, as a writer, it's not about whether people like me, right? People hate Steinbeck. People hate Cormac McCarthy. People hate Stephen King. People hate J.K. Rowling's. You know, people hate her. And but the point is, she was the voice and the reporter that went to this world of Harry Potter and introduced us and opened a door for us to go to her world. A world that she created, a world that she co-created with the characters of that book, with the characters inside of the book, with Hermione and with Harry Potter and all. You get to experience that world with her, and she was kind enough to share it with us. That I want to be a part of that process, and that to me is the most magical part of writing. That's why I like it. That's why I watch fiction, because I want to go to those people's world. I want to see what they see. That's what this is all about, and I don't want to lose sight of that. And that's why I want to do these. That's why I start doing this video, because I want to be able to look back and look at the real reason I started this, and look at the feelings that I had in releasing this book before I get destroyed on Amazon. You know, hopefully it does really well. Hopefully people understand what I'm saying here in this book. Hopefully people see through the character's eyes and are able to go to this world. And that's all I want to really say. I got to get back to editing, because I got 54 chapters to get through line by line to make sure this thing is solid and not distracting people by the errors or the, you know, miscapitalizations or whatever else I have in here that's wrong. That's it. Bruce, this is a message to future Bruce and other people who want to watch it. I'm really glad I took this journey. I'm looking forward to see what happens with it. I'm looking forward to writing the next book or the next series and seeing where this journey takes me. So I think that's it. See you later.